You've heard it said 1,000 times, your mind is your greatest weapon. But what does that really mean? If your mind is your weapon, then what happens when you're not training it? What happens when you let your mind go flabby, weak, and susceptible to the distractions of life? You become prey. The world, society, even your own habits will chew you up, and your discipline will be lost. But here's the twist. What if I told you that the greatest power you can wield is not just the strength of your body, but the indomitable discipline of your mind? That's what we're diving into today, and if you stick around, you'll unlock the secrets to mastering your mind like never before. Welcome to Modern Stoicism. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because today we're talking about the brutal but beautiful art of training your mind for timeless discipline. This isn't about quick fixes or temporary motivation. This is about shaping yourself into someone who cannot be broken by the world, no matter how hard it tries. So, get ready. Let's jump right into it. Section 1. The mind is the battlefield. The battlefield where the war for your life is fought is not on some distant land, nor is it defined by physical strength. The real battlefield is in your mind. Every decision you make, every action you take, is first decided in the mind. Your thoughts determine your reality, yet most people walk through life unaware of the true power they have within them. The mind is a weapon, and if it isn't trained, it will turn against you. Every day, you are bombarded with distractions, temptations, and pressures from the outside world. The constant noise of society, the lure of instant gratification, and the distractions of modern technology all compete for your attention. In a world filled with noise, it's easy to forget that the most important thing you need to control is not the outside world, but your own mind. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, knew that the external world is beyond our control, but our response to it, our thoughts and emotions, are entirely within our power. When you fail to train your mind, you become a victim to your impulses. The mind is like a muscle. If it's not strengthened, it becomes weak. Without discipline, your thoughts will run wild, and your actions will follow. You'll find yourself procrastinating, giving into distractions, and losing control over your emotions. Over time, this leads to a life of frustration and missed potential. But when you actively train your mind, you reclaim control over your life. You begin to shape your thoughts to serve your highest goals, not your lowest impulses. Your mind becomes the greatest asset you have, and you can navigate the chaos of life with calm, focus, and strength. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, that no matter what happens externally, you alone have the power to control how you respond. And by choosing to master your mind, you unlock the ability to master your life. Training your mind means developing the ability to focus, to resist the urge for instant gratification, and to maintain your composure in the face of adversity. It means having the discipline to act in accordance with your values, regardless of how you feel in the moment. This is the core of self-discipline. It's not about trying to control every single thought, but about creating the mental fortitude to respond, not react. It's about taking a step back and choosing your actions based on logic and virtue, not emotional impulse. But mastering your mind isn't easy. The battles you face are constant, and they come in many forms: the temptation to quit, the urge to procrastinate, the fear of failure. But each time you win a small victory, your mind grows stronger. Discipline is built through small, consistent actions. Just as a warrior trains for battle, you must train your mind daily. Over time, you become unshakable, unaffected by distractions, and capable of achieving greatness. The question is, Are you ready to fight this battle? Will you take control of your mind, or will you let it control you? Your journey toward timeless discipline begins now. Comment below with the phrase, "My mind, my battlefield," if you're ready to fight for your future and master your mind. Section 2. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is often misunderstood. In today's world, where instant gratification and comfort are prized above all else, discipline is frequently viewed as a burden, a restriction, or even a form of self-punishment. Yet in reality, discipline is the path to true freedom. If you've ever felt trapped by your impulses, your bad habits, or your inability to stay focused, you know that freedom does not come from indulgence, it comes from control. The Stoics believed that freedom was not about having no constraints, but about having the power to choose how we respond to life's challenges. They understood that true freedom is born from the ability to control yourself, not from the ability to do whatever you want whenever you want. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, stated in his Meditations, "Freedom is the only goal worth pursuing." But what does that really mean? How does discipline connect to freedom? When you lack discipline, you become a slave to your desires and emotions. You follow your whims, chasing fleeting pleasures and avoiding discomfort. You make choices based on what feels good in the moment, but those choices often lead to long-term pain and regret. Over time, you find yourself stuck in a cycle of procrastination, self-doubt, and missed opportunities. You want to break free, but you don't have the mental discipline to do so. Here's the truth. Discipline is the force that sets you free from this cycle. When you take control of your mind and actions, you break free from the chains of impulse. You no longer let your emotions or temporary desires dictate your life. Instead, you choose your path based on purpose, values, and long-term goals. That's the essence of Stoic freedom. By disciplining your mind, you gain the power to direct your life instead of reacting to it. In practical terms, discipline means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early to work on your goals, pushing through the discomfort of a challenging workout, or resisting the temptation to procrastinate. Discipline gives you the structure and focus to make consistent progress, and over time, it compounds into extraordinary results. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you have to shape your own destiny. By embracing discipline, you also free yourself from the fear of failure and the grip of anxiety. You stop worrying about things that are out of your control because you know that your actions are aligned with your values. You take ownership of your life, and with that ownership comes a profound sense of freedom. Freedom is not the absence of discipline, it's the result of it. So, when you feel resistance toward doing the hard work, remember, discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. The greater your discipline, the more freedom you will have to live life on your terms. If you believe discipline equals freedom, smash that like button and comment "Freedom through discipline" below to declare your commitment to taking control of your life. Section 3. The role of pain in discipline. Pain. It's a word we naturally try to avoid. In a world that constantly seeks comfort and instant gratification, the very idea of embracing pain can seem counterintuitive. Yet, when it comes to building true discipline, pain is not just something to endure, it is something to welcome. The Stoics understood this, and they believed that enduring pain and discomfort was essential for cultivating strength, resilience, and mental toughness. Why does pain matter in the pursuit of discipline? Because without it, we stagnate. Without discomfort, there is no growth. Think about physical training for a moment. When you push your body to its limits, whether it's lifting weights, running, or any other intense activity, what happens? You experience soreness, discomfort, and sometimes outright pain. But this is how your muscles grow stronger. The same principle applies to your mind. Pain serves as the crucible in which your character and willpower are forged. The Stoic philosophers, such as Epictetus and Seneca, viewed hardship and adversity not as burdens to avoid, but as opportunities for growth. They knew that discomfort was the price of strength, whether that strength was mental, emotional, or physical. In Letters from a Stoic, Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." In other words, it's the very friction of life, the challenges, the struggles, and the discomfort that shapes us into the individuals we need to become. Without it, you remain soft, complacent, and prone to breaking when life inevitably throws obstacles your way. Pain teaches you what you're truly capable of. When you push yourself to endure physical, emotional, or mental pain, you begin to tap into a level of strength you never knew existed. It's in these moments of discomfort that your true character is revealed. This is why Stoicism emphasizes voluntary discomfort, the practice of deliberately putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. This isn't about seeking suffering for the sake of suffering. It's about embracing discomfort as a tool for growth. Consider the mental pain that comes with overcoming procrastination. Every time you resist the temptation to delay, you face discomfort. You fight against the pull of your desires to relax, to watch TV, or to scroll through social media. But each time you make the difficult choice to act despite the discomfort, your willpower grows stronger. You develop the mental discipline necessary to avoid distractions and stay focused on your long-term goals. The pain of resisting is the very thing that builds the mental muscles required for success. Similarly, the emotional pain of facing failure is another critical aspect of discipline. Many people avoid challenges because they fear the sting of failure. They fear rejection, mistakes, or not meeting their own expectations. But failure is essential. It's how you learn, grow, and adjust your course. The Stoics were unafraid of failure because they knew it was a vital part of the process. They saw failure not as something to be feared, but as something to embrace, because it's in failure that you find the seeds of success. Pain is a teacher, and discipline is its student. When you choose to endure discomfort, you become stronger and more resilient. This is how you build unbreakable discipline. The more pain you are willing to face, whether it's physical exertion, mental strain, or emotional discomfort, the more control you gain over your own mind. And with control comes the power to achieve greatness. Remember, the path to mastery and true discipline isn't paved with ease. It is built through the willingness to face pain head-on, to endure, and to push past your limits. Only then will you know what you're truly capable of. If you understand the power of embracing pain for growth, comment "Embrace the discomfort" below and like this video. Section 4. The power of self-restraint. Self-restraint is the foundation of discipline. It's the ability to say no to immediate pleasures in order to achieve long-term goals. In a world that glorifies indulgence, convenience, and instant gratification, self-restraint is becoming an increasingly rare and powerful quality. Yet, it is this very restraint that is the key to unlocking your highest potential. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the understanding that our desires, if unchecked, will always lead us astray. The Stoics believed that our emotions and impulses were not inherently bad, but that when left unchecked, they would drive us into irrational, harmful behaviors. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." This is the essence of self-restraint, learning to be satisfied with less, to let go of unnecessary cravings and to focus on what truly matters. Self-restraint isn't about denial for the sake of punishment. It's about taking control over your own life. It's about understanding that what you consume, whether it's food, entertainment, or even emotions, shapes your reality. Without self-restraint, your mind becomes like a wild horse, galloping in every direction, without purpose or discipline. You are constantly chasing new desires, and as a result, you never truly satisfy any of them. This leads to a life of chaos, frustration, and unmet potential. On the other hand, when you practice self-restraint, you begin to harness that wild energy. You develop the ability to delay gratification, to ignore distractions, and to focus on the things that align with your highest values and goals. This is the true meaning of freedom, the freedom to choose your actions, regardless of what your impulses or emotions may be telling you in the moment. Think about your daily habits. How many times do you give in to distractions, whether it's checking your phone, indulging in junk food, or avoiding a difficult task? These are all small, seemingly harmless actions that drain your discipline over time. But every time you exercise self-restraint, whether it's by turning off your phone, saying no to immediate pleasures, or sticking to your routine, you build strength. Each act of restraint strengthens your mental muscle and brings you closer to mastering yourself. Self-restraint is not just about saying no to things. It's about saying yes to your higher purpose. Every time you resist a temptation, you choose your long-term goals over short-term satisfaction. The more you practice, the more you realize that true fulfillment comes from the power to control your own actions and desires, not from giving in to them. If you've ever struggled with self-restraint, comment "Mastering Myself" below and hit the like button. Section 5. Mind control through habits. Habits shape who we are. Whether we realize it or not, the choices we make every day compound into the person we become. The power of habit is often underestimated, but it is, in fact, the backbone of discipline. If you want to change your life, change your habits. But how do you do that? How do you create habits that will sharpen your mind, improve your focus, and build unbreakable discipline? It starts with the understanding that habits are the building blocks of your identity. As the philosopher William James once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This means that if you want to be disciplined, you must make discipline a habit. If you want to master your mind, you must form the habit of consistently training it. Habits, when done consistently, shape your character, and your character determines your future. The key to creating strong habits is understanding how the brain works. The process of habit formation is simple but powerful. Cue, routine, reward. Every habit starts with a cue, something that triggers the behavior, like waking up in the morning. Then comes the routine, the action you take in response to the cue, such as exercising or journaling. Finally, there's the reward, how you feel after completing the routine, such as the rush of endorphins after a workout or the clarity gained from a morning reflection. Over time, these habits become ingrained in your brain and start to feel automatic. But not all habits are created equal. Discipline-building habits are the ones that challenge you, that push you out of your comfort zone, and that align with your long-term goals. These habits can be difficult at first, but the more you practice them, the easier they become. Whether it's waking up early, sticking to a strict workout routine, or setting aside time for focused work, each habit you cultivate will reinforce your discipline and build your mental toughness. One of the most powerful ways to build strong habits is by starting small. Too often, people fail to build lasting habits because they attempt to change too much at once. Instead of overhauling your entire life in a day, focus on small, manageable actions. Start with one habit, like meditating for 5 minutes each morning or writing down your goals for the day. As you succeed in small habits, you build momentum, and before you know it, you've cultivated a life of discipline. Building habits is a lifelong journey, and even the greatest minds, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, had to practice daily discipline. Every small habit you build strengthens your mind, enhances your willpower, and brings you closer to mastering yourself. If you're ready to start building discipline through habits, comment "Habits for Mastery" below and like this video. You've now uncovered some of the most powerful tools for training your mind and developing timeless discipline. Every principle we've discussed, from the battlefield of the mind to the role of pain and self-restraint, all lead to one undeniable truth. Discipline is the key to unlocking your full potential. It's not an easy path, but it's the only path that leads to true freedom, control, and the kind of success that isn't dependent on fleeting motivation or external circumstances. Remember, the battle for mastery is fought every single day, and every small decision you make is either a step closer to becoming the person you aspire to be, or a step further away. Your mind is your most powerful ally, but only if you train it, shape it, and control it. Now, as you leave this video, ask yourself, what steps will you take today to build your discipline and master your mind? Will you embrace the discomfort, practice self-restraint, and form habits that serve your highest goals? If you're serious about your growth, then these aren't just concepts. They are the foundation of the life you want to create. If you're ready to take control of your mind, your habits, and your life, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson in mastering your mind. And don't forget to comment below with the phrase "Mastering my mind" to declare your commitment to this journey. The road to timeless discipline isn't easy, but it's the only road that will lead you to lasting freedom and success. Keep pushing, keep fighting, and remember, you are your greatest weapon. See you in the next video, where we'll continue to sharpen the mind and refine the art of discipline.